Thank you for being here. All right. I am Zoe Dunning, and I am mad. I am mad as hell about what happened yesterday in the Senate. Are you mad?
Yeah.
We are here to tell the Senate, don't go home until business is done. None of us get to go home for Christmas until we're done with our jobs. The Senate doesn't go home until it's done with its job. You hear me? I've been working on this issue for 18 years. I think there are a few of us here, a handful, that have been doing it for that long. And I got to tell you, I got more skin in this game than anyone, or as much, I should say, as anyone in this game. And I personally am horrified at what happened yesterday and upset with the Senate and angry. And I sat there in the Senate gallery yesterday. I flew here from California. I flew for the historic vote. And for those of you who haven't witnessed the Senate, when they take the roll call and they take the vote, they actually physically walk up to the recorder, make eye contact, raise their hand, and either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That is how they vote in the U.S. Senate. I sat there in that Senate gallery and watched 40 of our elected representatives, 40 senators, who represent a country where over 70% of Americans believe don't ask, don't tell should be repealed. I watched 40 senators walk up to the recorder, look him in the eye, and go thumbs down on American patriots. I saw them put millionaires over our military. I saw them put process over patriots. I saw them kick us in the face and kick us in the teeth and say, no, not now. And I say, if not now, when? I served for 26 years in the military. I'm an Annapolis graduate. I served on an aircraft carrier. And you watch the pilots as they come around to make their carrier landings. And the way that they make their carrier landing on a bobbing, weaving ship is they have a little tail hook that catches one of the arresting gear that goes across the deck. And we've been trying to land this plane on this carrier for a while now. We're trying to land this plane, and we made an attempt yesterday, and we missed the wire, and we're going to have to go back around again. This is not the time to eject. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to say, you know what, we missed that landing. This is not the time. Now is the time to circle back around. We're running out of fuel. There's fog. The carrier's bouncing up and down. We can barely make it. But you know what? We're going to give it our best. We're going to try, and we're going to land that plane.
Don't go home! 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 Don't go home!
Is another proud patriot. I'm proud to serve alongside Major Mark Almy.
Thank you, Zoe, for your leadership, your perseverance on this issue. There are few people who have been in this issue longer than Zoe, so let's give her a round of applause. I'm Mike Almy. I served as an officer in the Air Force for 13 years, where I attained the rank of major. I led a team of nearly 200 men and women in Iraq. My team was responsible for controlling the systems, the command and control systems used to control the airspace over Iraq. While we were there, the Marines liberated Fallujah, so my team was in part responsible for helping liberate that part of Iraq. I deployed to the Middle East 4 times. I've spent 4 Christmases overseas in harm's way, doing my job, defending my country. Meanwhile, the Senate wants to go home and recess and go home to their families and not do their duties and sit by their warm fireplaces comfortably in their homes for Christmas while their work remains unfinished.
No.
If I can serve overseas in harm's way for 4 Christmases defending our nation, the Senate can certainly do the same.
That's right. That's right.
In March of this year, I testified before the Armed Services Committee in the Senate and told my story there. Senator Collins was there. She heard my story. She was visibly moved by it, and hopefully in some small way that's the reason why she voted yesterday, as well as in May. Senator McCain was also there and did not listen to my story. Instead, he shook his head. He continues to bury his head in the sand on this issue and call for more studies, more surveys, all the way down to the lowest level in the military. He simply refuses to listen to the facts. The facts are that 70% of our military support repeal. 92% of our military that has served alongside people they either knew or suspected were gay and lesbian have no issue with this whatsoever. They are indifferent. They want repeal. They think it will strengthen our military. The Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, our President, all urge repeal now during the lame duck session. The House has done its duty in May and passed this legislation. It is up to the Senate now to follow suit. Once again, call on the Senate. Stay here in session. Don't go home.
Don't go!
Don't go home! Don't go home! Don't go home! Don't go home!
Don't go home!
I want to give a particular shout out to Senator Voinovich because I am from Ohio. Senator Voinovich, this goes out to you. Yesterday you shamed me with your vote, as well as the rest of the Ohio veterans.
That's right.
My father retired from the Air Force, and he resides in Ohio as well. My whole family are Ohio residents, as are the family of Lieutenant Colonel Victor Fehrenbach. We're all from Ohio. We are your constituents. This is going to be your legacy. You are on the wrong side of history here, Senator Voinovich. I call on you specifically to stay here in Washington and not leave. I call on you to support the standalone bill and vote for repeal. Don't go home, Senator Voinovich. Don't go home. Don't go home. Don't go home. Don't go home. Don't go home.